Elite Sentinel.
Give me the controls.
Sir.
Okay, so we do have the headquarters now. We might as well go
To
for...
help us develop effective engine modifications, we must be sure to have the to encourage new racing talent and investment in the sport. Several challenges have been set up where you can prove your skills. The prize? Components for teams to incorporate into their racing craft, including the sensors we need. I will direct you to one of these locations.
I will do that eventually, because that does take a really fast ship. This ship might be able to cut it. I'm not sure. Xenon.
Knew I could count on you.
Mission inter...
Oop.
I'm delighted to see that everyone has made it.
Cutscene time.
Explorer, please fall into formation to accommodate the remaining attendees.
So many ships! I cannot believe we are actually here, ready to witness something truly historic.
The Terran Secret Service has been alerted to potential gate activity. The Intervention Corps has been ordered to undertake a threat assessment with regard to the potential impact on Sol territories. We can only guarantee everyone's safety as long as the expedition remains close to the intervention fleet. However, we advise everyone to stay clear of our firing arcs.
Visual scans indicate some activity. We will need to get closer for a more thorough read on the situation. Mission Specialist, approach the gate with cell and interface with it to initialize a direct data stream for our onboard science team.
Affirmative. Approaching the jump gate.
Hey, that's an Argon gunship.
Activating scanner. Accessing nacelle.
Data stream is initialized. It looks like... Pull back.
Battle stations. Prepare to engage.
Is that a capital class?
Nothing? Well then. Intervention Corps, prepare for traversal.
The expedition shall follow close behind. Mission Specialist, remain here and establish an outpost to derive a complete reading of the gate's coordinate data.
On it, sir. Godspeed, everyone.
Right. Well, let's just up through. Oh, was I not supposed to go in yet?
Entering system. Watchful Gaze.
Oh.
Primary scans indicate that this system is uninhabited. No sign of boron or any other kind of life, biological or artificial.
This cannot be
Interesting.
true. Are you certain that the sensors are not malfunctioning? It
Ooh,
has
I am
been
lagging.
so long. I really thought this might be the day I finally reconnect with my kin of the Fin.
Take
Ooh,
heart,
the
Boron
game does
exile.
not like
May yet be a step closer to your reunion.
that.
Explorer, we need some
Yield.
detailed system mapping. The task is in your hands. There is much to learn here.
Well, I see one question mark all the way out here. This system is beautiful, though. we're getting low FPS again. The game does my computer does really not like these clouds, whatever they are. So, I mean, is this another warp gate? Yeah, it looks like another warp gate.
Preliminary data has identified some points of potential interest. We are having trouble locking on to exact locations at this range.
Okay, I will
See
go
if you
explore
can locate them
these
for us.
instead of the warp gate. What is that? I see something over there. I don't know why. Right there. What is that?
Empty space. Unknown object.
Derelict ship. I'm guessing
Oh
broken.
my! Could that be?
Oh, that does look Boron.
By the Trinity, a Boron
Yep.
vessel.
My instinct says we should take a closer look.
My thoughts exactly. Not a long range scan. Explore derelict ship. Am I supposed to, like, get out and explore? Oh, it's just freaking clouds again.
Sensors are picking up a weak energy signature amongst the debris.
Is there a way to turn off those clouds? Hold on. X. Radar. Would that be volumetric fog? I don't know. All I know is that it's annoying and it's making me drop hella frames.
Assistant, I think you should suit up and investigate.
Walk to the elevator and interact with the panel. Where's the elevator? I didn't see an elevator. Am I stupid? I might be stupid. Oh, is it right there? It might be in there. Okay, let's see. Let me
Elite.
in.
Sentinel.
Well, out. Let me out. Okay, it was right
See
here.
if you can repair the panel to gain access.
Oh, it was not right here. It was on the other side. Collision avoidance going crazy. Come on. Oh, of course you can't go to it that way. Ah, boron ships are so confusing.
Running decryption and reconstruction algorithm. The data is woefully incomplete, but it appears that this was an outpost of some manner. There are signs of an attack from several directions. It seems that the operators would have had little, if any, time to react. How frustratingly peculiar. I am forwarding all of this to our esteemed expedition commander. Perhaps he can garner more clues. I have my doubts, though.
Perhaps.
New Mon Karet, sir. Our team
Let me
confirms
out.
that the Heretic's End Gate does indeed contain the coordinates to the Kingdom End system. The timing cannot be coincidental, can it? Just after we received word from the Boron? Is it possible that their experiments were somehow related to the gate reinitialization?
Coordinates and timing are relevant, not conclusive. The fact of the matter is that this is definitely not Kingdom End. Interstellar messenger drones are not the fastest form of communication. We do not know what has occurred on the Boron side since their last message. Theoretically,
So they were talking with the
connection
Borons.
between the two gates is possible, but that is just a theory. It could well be that the systems were linked in the distant past.
Yes. Unfortunately, a theoretical compatibility does not mean much in itself. If activating or reprogramming these gates were easy, I'm certain I would have overcome the challenges long ago.
The split didn't exactly give you a choice over your research focus. Could this be the Boron? Could they really have unlocked jump gate technology?
Perhaps. Perhaps not. At this point, any further hypothesis would be mere speculation. Until we have more evidence, keep your ideas off general comms. If you must elaborate your theories, feel free to put them in writing.
So it wants me to explore here, but there's...
I think
Oh,
I
okay.
am picking up. Oh no, never mind that. Nothing of interest here. This system's peculiar conditions make getting accurate readings rather troublesome.
I'm gonna go to the jump gate. Hey, Bandy.
Have an unidentified ship on an intercept trajectory. This is our first contact in a
Oh.
newly open network. We have no idea of who they are, or their intentions.
They have a ship coming at me?
Investigate, and if possible, make contact. Maintain vigilance.
Yo, what's up, Pip? Yeah, stick around this time, gotta study. That's fine. You go study. That's important. Watching me play funny space
Unknown
game
ship.
is not. Please don't shoot me. Thank you. Actually, what does this message say real quick? Okay. Should I read this whole thing? This is near me. I'm praying a sermon to base so far. Discourse, signs of activity heretics and coming so soon after the kingdom's ends, explicitly mentioning joke experiments, where the widespread optimism media outlets across the gateway gravitated towards the rather unscientific notion that the Boron were the only missing members of the pre-Dark Era community of planets. Purely by a process of elimination, they assumed it had been them on the other side of this jump gate. At the other end of the spectrum, doomsday prophecies proliferated. Herminic, I don't know what that is. One of sacred relics' more controversial figures. Oh, it's a name. Okay. Famously presented socio-mathematical calculation in an effort to prove that the collapse of the Boron Society had inevitably occurred mere months after this spoke the messenger drone's dispatch. According to his followers, we may well be listening to the calls of a long-dead, or at the very least, economically depleted civilization. In all probability, he asserts, the Boron, well, they, I don't know, asserts the Boron would not be in a position to start a jump gate experiment, send a messenger drone, and almost perfectly secret a successful conclusion of the experiment with the arrival of the drone years later. This would be a vanishingly unlikely coincidence, and he suggests the massive investment in jump gate research required would, in itself, catalyze the Boron economic collapse. Their most vocal opponent, looks like a Talati, on the other hand, has attempted to sway the discourse by characterizing the Queendom of Boron as an exceptionally stable society, profoundly focused on technological advancement. If she is to be believed, Boron technology might not have advanced to the point of jump gate manipulation. It may have triggered an interference signal strong enough to prompt a cascading reaction, ultimately reaching Heretic's end itself. They retorted that the only cascading reaction would have been the complete annihilation of Boron life due to a failsafe installed by the gate's builders. Oh, so we didn't build the warp gates. I thought we did. Or I thought Terrans would have. I don't know. This remark was clearly a reference to Shaban Taigo, a former professor of the New Heiwa Academic of Sciences, who, before her recent retirement, made waves with similar speculation about an omniscient observer monitoring technological progress. In one famous lecture, originally intended to cover the life cycle of magnetars, she claimed that science is dead and further discoveries are purely at the whim of unseen forces. Evidence appears to support the theory that jump gate interference is indeed ultimately possible. During the dark, several sectors drained vast resources in futile attempts to end their isolation, in some cases triggering economic, political, and social collapse sufficient to render them surface-bound. Since then, the dream of reactivating jump gates, especially to reconnect with lost sections of one's own civilization, has defined countless scientific careers. A glimmer of hope remains. The incredibly small amount of data from the jumpgate nacelle that we have so far been able to access has been theorized as some kind of cache for remote access. For the Heretics End jumpgate, this cache data lists among its entries the coordinates of Kingdom's End. Granted, so do at least 17 other gates in the known network. But Watchful Gaze is the first successful confirmation of a coordinate data synced between pre- and post-gate opening nacelle cache readings. It seems reasonable to hypothesize that this coordinate data constitutes an affinity for other jump gates, either because the gates were once connected in the distant past, or because the gate builders, in their time, made a careful selection of auspicious jump gate network layouts. The logic behind the prioritization of this cache data will have to be further investigated by observing future jump gate connections. Rick Feynman famously postulated that one does not, by knowing and apply all fundamental laws as they are known today, get any understanding of the jump gates. In this spirit, I infer from our findings that the necessity of optimism. The petabytes of as yet undeciphered data within the nacelles are barely touched, and there is a distinct possibility that one of the jump gates ahead will add another breadcrumb on our trail to Kingdom End. How's that for an ending? Okay. Interesting. Interesting.
Oh my! Aliens!
It's a Boron!
Please, do not be afraid. I shall disengage my armament.
It's a Boron!
Greetings. I am so pleased to make your acquaintance.
Incredible! Finally, contact with our aquatic allies. Bosota, are you receiving this?
Oh, they're quiet.
What did you say? A boron? Truly? A living, buoyant boron? Are my ocular sensor organs deceiving me? Allow me to
Oops.
introduce
I
myself.
bonked their ship.
I am Bosota, and I can barely recall another boron face. I have been riven from my people for that long. Will you please deign to share your time with me?
I am Lena T, adventurer extraordinaire. I would be delighted to spend time with you.
As appointed delegate of the Alliance of the Word, please allow me to extend my greetings to you and your people.
Right.
It is an honor to make your acquaintance, Neela T.
I do not have any official capacity as such, but it is marvelous to be seeing actual people from beyond the disconnected gates. How did you get here? Has a gate reopened? Are we connected once more? Oh,
My
I
lights
knew it
are
would have to happen
whitewashing
eventually.
their character.
What joyous news!
Momentous news indeed. Although we are less than clear on how this has occurred. There was speculation that the Boron triggered the gate reinitialization. Messages from your scientists indicated that they were working on such a task. Please, can you direct us towards Kingdom End?
You were in contact with Kingdom End? That is marvelous news. It has been decades since we were cut off. We have heard nothing in all that time. The severing of the connection with Nishala has been indescribably distressing for all of us.
My
All of
system
us?
is in profound turmoil. To meet a fellow Boron after all these years is an incandescent joy.
Borons are cute, though.
But to find that you, too, are cut off from the homeworld is a misery.
More than you know, Bosota. We have all mourned this loss.
Without access to Kingdom End, your Queen and Parliament, how do you govern yourselves?
After the severance, there was a period of chaos, until a royal steward was appointed. I have had dealings with him, It would be my pleasure to make an introduction.
You must make haste. There is much to be discussed with your leadership.
Follow me, you cavalcade of curious creatures.
A Boron society not headed by a queen? This is somewhat hard to fathom.
Indeed, Bosotar. From your own experience, you understand the pain of separation. I doubt other species appreciate the biological depth of our harmonious societal interconnection. It was worse than it is now. It used to be that all our systems were isolated. Severed, not just from Kingdom End, the Queen, and Homeworld Nishla, but also from each other. Fortunately, several of our systems reconnected to each other eventually, but none received word from home. Reorganization became a necessity.
They are so fast.
Provinces Adrift, as we call ourselves, were only ever intended to be temporary. But under the Royal Steward, it has grown into a comprehensive governing body.
So I should have gone to the jump gate.
But some of us have never given up on Kingdom End. Your communication with the homeworld is momentous in the extreme. Not a soul in these systems has found evidence of whether Kingdom End even still exists.
So we're going to Barren Shores. Oh, cutscene again.
Goodness. Someone from beyond our realm. Surely this indicates that our reports are correct. The once dormant gate has indeed resumed its function and brought our province into alignment with our erstwhile allies. You must realize what this means. All the resources of the Commonwealth are now within reach. At long last, a chance to end the shortages. Pick up the pace.
I must warn you, the provinces adrift are not awash with the luxuries of the old kingdom. The pain of severance has been constant, but our economy has also suffered.
Their stations
The
are so
shortages of essential
cool.
goods have cut deeply. Reconnection with the network may alleviate some of these issues, at least.
Reality, you bring us guests, outsiders, with a fleet no less. What have you been up to?
More than that, Royal Steward, I bring momentous news. The fleet, this Paranid-led fleet, it came from the dormant gate in Watchful Gaze. They have communicated with Kingdom End. They have no Kingdom End gate, but they have communication. We
What are
connected
these
to the network
things?
once more.
My word, if.
The delegation seeks an audience. May I?
Yes, of course. There is so much to discuss, so much to consider.
Royal Steward, would it be in order for me to accompany the delegation?
I'm sure you have other things to do. Diplomacy is not the same thrill as exploration.
Please, Royal Steward, with your permission.
Of course, Neelity. By all means, accompany the delegation.
Explorer, you have displayed some usefulness thus far.
Some
I'm
usefulness.
tasked with joining us in meeting the Royal Steward. I may have need of your insights.
You clearly made an impression on the expedition commander. I sense you are becoming more central to his plans. Join the delegation. Watch this Royal Steward. I have some
Another
experiments to
cutscene.
attend to, though I shall keep an eye on you. A Boron capital ship. In all my days. A perfect equilibrium of function and ergonomics. And with such flair. My current abode is penurious in comparison.
I feel like there's some dialogue that should be happening right now.
My ropalium near explodes with the joy of welcoming esteemed visitors. This historic occasion is the first of its kind. I am Leda V, Royal Steward of the Provinces Adrift. On behalf of Her Majesty the Queen, and as her loyal servant, it is my profound pleasure to welcome an emissary of the Paranid Empire. And once business is out of the way, I insist you join me on a more informal tour.
Esteemed Royal Steward Lita Wee, thank you for your most gracious welcome. You must forgive me. I, Numunkaret, am no Empire emissary. I represent the Alliance of the Word, a diplomatic forum and scientific organization funded by various races across the network.
My. But do you have letters patent from the Empire? The provinces adrift are in dire straits. We must negotiate terms of assistance.
I am compelled to reiterate, I do not speak for the Paranid authorities. Though we do bring news which may bring joy. We have been in communication with Kingdom End. Limited fragile communication, but communication nevertheless. Some months ago we received word from your homeworld. It was heartening to discover that the Boron Core has survived the shutdown, and learn of their most ambitious endeavor. Their entire scientific resources are focused on understanding and manipulating jump gate technology. We humbly request your permission to investigate the dormant jump gates in your territory, and to set up a scientific outpost in the region, should that be required.
There are some...
Heading to the dock,
Oops.
awaiting pickup.
I did not mean to skip the cutscene. I was gonna just see if I could raise the voices, because they are
But all
quiet.
may not be lost.
Ah, the silent one from our disappointing introduction.
Mediate between the parties, find a solution. Oh, I was just gonna talk to him, but that works. I probably should not have skipped the cutscene.
Your expedition commander hardly seemed in the mood for positive solutions. I cannot imagine that you presume to speak for it.
Also, just a random thing that I thought of is the Borons are aquatic, and their ships look just like the interiors of the regular ships. But shouldn't they have like aquatic containment to better suit them rather than like other? I don't know.
Assistant, perhaps uncovering more context first may help with your solutioneering.
I regret my approach at our meeting. You see, I have not hosted a diplomatic function in decades. Unfortunately, I am simply not in the habit of communicating with anyone other than Boron, you see. We Boron converse amongst ourselves, relying on complex structures of pheromones, not just mere words. There was so much to communicate, so much to cogitate upon, yet the words failed to convey my meaning. You must imagine it like painting an ocean, yet having only a single shade of blue with which to do so.
Perhaps we reconvene.
You are correct, of course. There is no harm in reaching for common ground. I am embarrassed to say that our defensive capabilities are woefully inadequate. Ashamedly so. Our economy is so fractured. We struggle to construct anything larger, perhaps, than a frigate. We cannot even resource and operate a full-scale shipyard. For half a century of isolation, we Boron have had little need for a comprehensive military. I fear that we are wholly unprepared for the myriad dangers lurking beyond the gate. And should word spread of the valuable equipment and facilities proposed by the Alliance of the Word, it might be akin to painting a target upon ourselves for any nefarious actors in the vicinity. One moment. I have, even now, received word of split incursions. If we had anything of value to loot, we would not be discussing skirmishes. They would descend upon us in hordes. From time to time, I spend the waking nights pondering the very same question. It would be misleading to cast blame for all our miseries on the Great Shutdown. In fact, when we were first riven from the wider network, the vast majority of our Boron systems remained connected between themselves. Isolated from external threats, we commenced a new age of reflection and scientific endeavor. And while this period of peace brought the wealth of Kingdom End to fabulous new heights,
What
we were
is
not
happening?
complacent. Resources were stockpiled throughout the Queendom, a precaution.
Oh, we jumped.
I regret my approach. There, yet you must imagine it like painting an ocean. Yet
Okay. Enough talking to you. Let's go and try and talk to the other dude.
The Protectorate has determined that this system poses no threat to the citizens of Sol or the wider network. Our orders are to deploy positions of more strategic importance. Still, stay alert. None of us know what might be lurking out there.
The Alliance of the Ward thanks you for your support. You shall proceed alone from here on. Our military friends are needed elsewhere.
The steward and I have had our differences in the past, but I had no idea he would be so stubborn.
Yeah, I missed the entire part where he was being
I'm
stubborn.
so very sorry you had to witness that embarrassingly discordant display. Leader V and I disagree on much, but he is not a bad person. You know, he is just scared.
Whoa, do their suits change color?
Oh, you took note of that, did you? Time after time I approach Leader Weave for the resources to find our way back home, but he has come to the conclusion that efforts spent on this endeavor come at an immediate cost to our people. I would hate for you to get the impression that I do not care for my fellow Boron here, out on the fringes. I am truly seeking to make a difference for the people. Serving the Queen's subjects is a duty for me. You see, I do not like to draw too much attention to it, but I myself am the progeny of stranded minor royals. Before you bow or anything like that, I am not part of the direct line of succession, and that is not how our monarchy works in any case. Yet, it drives me to find a path back home, for the people to once again delight in a reunited, merry realm. I think he is scared of falling short. He carries the weight of the expectations of the entire provinces. He wants to keep everyone safe, and I think he fears that your expedition will exacerbate an already dangerous situation.
Dangerous situation?
Yes, fraught with danger. The provinces lie uncomfortably close to Kark territory. When Sanctuary of Darkness first connected to the provinces, it triggered regular attacks. We barely managed to protect ourselves with the meager military that we could cobble together. Thankfully, the waves have calmed for now. The Kark incursions eventually ceased. All attempts to communicate with these enigmatic creatures have failed, so I would hesitate to call it a ceasefire. It is more of a lull in hostilities. As you can imagine, the situation remains rather fragile. Pleasant travels.
Okay. Now, I do want to see... Where's my Foundations map? Lies close to Cock territory. Okay, so there's going to be Cock in Heretic's End. I mean, that's the only one that has potential Cock in it. Okay. I already talked to you. Let's go to the dock area. There's nothing for me to do here. Can I go back and talk with the guy on the bridge?
Ah, the silent one from our disappointing introduction.
Yes, I know. Perhaps there's a positive solution.
Ah, the silent one from our
Okay.
disappointing introduction.
Can we even do that? Can we take out a Cock installation?
Ah, the silent one from our disappointing introduction. I am fully aware of Neela T's royal connections. Is it your opinion of me that I am some petty functionary who can be bought and sold, bribed?
Oops, that was
by the
not the
highest
correct
bidder?
choice.
You misjudge me, and you misjudge Neela T. For all our disagreements, I cannot conceive that she would be party to such a grubby approach. Of course I desire the return of the provinces adrift to the warm embrace of the homeworld. But what kind of servant would I be if I did so at the expense of the welfare of those under my charge?
Okay. Well, then I misunderstood that. I misunderstood what that was saying.
Permanently? Wiping them out is your solution? To simply exterminate a species? I understood.
Okay,
that
you hate
entered our
everything I
provinces
propose.
in pursuit of scientific enlightenment, not bloodshed. Do these fins look like Terran appendages to you? Not all the inhabitants of this galaxy are driven by unmoderated barbarity. No thank you. If we can maintain peace, we shall do so. I find my principal concern is the welfare of the Boron of the provinces. Your...
Leader Wee, this is Numankaret.
Okay.
You have underestimated both the influence of the Alliance of the Word and the importance to the network of reconnecting with Kingdom End. As we speak, our representatives are in conference with our allies. The agenda is how, and indeed whether, there should be trade with the provinces adrift. Your ludicrous obstruction leaves me no choice but to twist your arms. Fins. If your economy is your priority, then I hold the keys to unlock it.
Blackmail? You, Numankaret, are no scientist. You are a brigand and a charlatan. And yet, you leave me no choice but to accede to your dangerous demands. But mark my words, you have made no friends here in the provinces adrift. Someday, you may regret that.
Okay, then.
With the gate in Watchful Gaze reactivated, to our knowledge, only 3 more dormant gates remain in province space. One is located in Ocean of Fantasy, another in Barren Shores. The final one was discovered by scouts in Sanctuary of Darkness. If Sanctuary of Darkness sounds foreboding, you may find that the name is fitting. It is host to a significant Ka'a infestation. Urgh. Even uttering the name makes my fins tingle. Yet I must remain firm on the matter. Do not, under any circumstances, engage with the Ka'a. Every interaction with them results in horrific conflict.
You have our word, Leader Wee. We shall do everything in our power to avoid undue provocation.
Thank you. And may I bestow upon you a gift?
A gift?
As a sign of goodwill to move past our altercation, we have prepared for you a fighter ship. A humble gift, but
The Boron
hopefully
ships
it
are so
will be of
fast.
use to you in the times ahead.
Explorer, you have done well to secure access for us to continue our mission. Please, claim the scout ship as your own.
I get a ship, and it's called Mako, which is a shark, and I love sharks. Fun fact, my phone is named Mako. How do...
We need to investigate the dormant gates to formulate the next step of our expedition.
I am already familiar with the gate in Ocean of Fantasy. If you supply me with the necessary equipment and provide me with a few pointers as to what exactly I am to do, it would be my deepest pleasure to assist.
Excellent. The Alliance shall investigate Barren Shores. That only leaves the matter of the final gate, the location of which is somewhat more precarious. Explorer, you have excelled thus far. Put that new fighter of yours to good use, and find Sanctuary of Darkness.
What are you doing?
It seems that
What are you
you
doing?
are best
Stop that.
suited to this task.
Not trying until
All
target
the
is
times
destroyed or
I
ship its
dreamt
new
of being
order.
reunited with my fellow Boron. It never crossed my mind that they might be in such impoverished circumstances. I know that the Alliance has received communications from Kingdom End, but those were dispatched decades ago. Hopefully, They have fared better than the Boron here. I am curious about the contents of their message. Just how much of their preliminary findings have they shared with their Alliance counterparts? Once we have gained access to both Gates' data, maybe the Alliance really intends to conduct experiments from our side too. Trying to manipulate Gates would be an incredibly involved undertaking. Yet it seems as though Numankaret is single-minded about the whole endeavor. Can you imagine the possibilities that would be open to us if we can manipulate these Gates at will?
Thanks to the newly opened trade routes, we have commenced rebuilding our shipyard. You are, of course, most welcome to aid us in our undertaking. Your efforts will, of course, be lucratively compensated.
We will take
I
that.
knew I could count on you.
Mission interrupted. New mission activated.